Alright, hi there. And these comments, I'm just going to use your initials A, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL iBT. And you completed an independent writing practice test. You're also one of my students in the English language program here at California State University, San Bernardino. And I'm posting this at YouTube so you can see some of the process of how I actually scored your essay. Okay, so I need to do one thing here. Give me just a quick second here. I'm going to take this link. This is the rubric that I have to use to grade your writing. So let's make sure that I have this available, because I need to use this in order to grade your writing. Okay, so I'm going to move down to the independent rubrics here. Okay, here we go. Okay, so first of all, let's get a quick word count to see how we're doing. Not bad, 307 words. I'd like you to get 350 to 450, but let's take a look at your introduction. Pretty good. So you say, in college, many young adults move from their homes, I would put, to new environments. So in this case, we have adults, plural, move, plural, theirs, plural, homes, plural, environments, plural. College provides a higher education that leads to a bachelor's degree. I'm going to say here the undergraduate level. Students are assigned a room and are asked to select a roommate. I'm going to not use a comma there, who at most times is a complete stranger. If a roommate is not selected, one is assigned. After the roommates are decided, the two must then live together. Although living with a roommate can be a scary thought, having a roommate can help instead of you, I would say can help me learn honesty, tolerance, and consideration of others. And then I'm going to change this. Can help me learn honesty, got it. So your next paragraph, to be a successful roommate, I'm going to say here that should, instead of using the word you, probably not the right point of view here. One characteristic that should be practiced is honesty. Honesty can be considered as a code of behavior. To be good partners, change the tone a little bit here. My partner or my roommate and I must, not to, but must be able to trust each other. In order to deal with this situation, both students must respect the other and be honest in their interactions. Okay, you're almost there. You have to give the example. I'm going to say program. You might say, I leave my wallet bedroom and I would never want to live with a roommate who steals my money. You might say, certainly show my toward him being honest in all my interactions. Alright, so that's all you needed there. So you just needed to support your paragraph a little bit more. That strengthens the writing. So don't forget that each paragraph that you have definitely needs to have an example in there to help illustrate your points. Okay, so now let's take a look at what you have. So the next paragraph, and let me just give you an idea here. I'm just trying to give you an idea of how you can develop ideas just a little bit more than you are here. So we have moved this now to 127 words. So your next paragraph, and you have a pretty good organization, so you understand how to do things. So you have, to achieve an almost perfect partnership, tolerance is a necessary element in a roommate. Roommates must understand that they both have their similarities and differences. Now, because you said roommates here, I'm going to say they must also recognize others' personal beliefs and behaviors. Both persons should also be able to cooperate with one another. If I am willing to bend a little bit and respect my roommate, then there should be few or no serious problems. Now we still have to have an example here. So you're almost there, but you remember what I had to do here? Guess what? I got to do the same thing to this paragraph because we still don't have a specific example in here. So you might say, for instance, I am Muslim. You might say, and in my religion, we do not drink alcohol. However, my roommate might not be Muslim, and maybe he likes to drink a little beer now and then. Okay, what we're going to say, we're trying to tie this back, so we'll say, in this case, we'll show tolerance toward my roommate by not condemning him if and when he drinks alcohol. So long as he is not throwing beer drinking parties at all hours of the night, which would disrupt my sleep routine. Okay, so I think we have it. So now we have this paragraph developed a little bit more, am I right? Yeah, so we're at 142 words, so I think we have it. So we have to achieve an almost perfect partnership. Tolerance is a necessary element in a roommate. Roommates must understand that they both have their similarities and differences. They must also recognize others' personal beliefs and behaviors. Both persons should also be able to cooperate with one another. If I'm willing to bend a little and respect my roommate, then there should be few or no serious problems. For instance, I am Muslim, and in my religion we do not drink alcohol. However, my roommate might not be Muslim, and maybe he likes to drink a little beer now and then. In this case, I will show tolerance toward my roommate by not condemning him if and when he drinks alcohol, so long as he's not throwing beer drinking parties at all hours of the night, which would disrupt my sleep routine. In return, I would hope that my roommate would be tolerant when I pray in our apartment, which is yet another religious belief that I have. Okay, I think we're good there. I think we should probably capitalize that. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about this one, but you kind of get the picture, right? Okay, so let's take a look at the last idea. Notice how I try to balance my paragraphs. You see that? Try to keep the paragraphs fairly well developed. So what did I do with your second paragraph? I added on this example, and then in the next paragraph I added on this idea to help develop this idea of tolerance. So you were almost there, but you didn't really move from the general to the more specific support patterning. You want to be very precise, very specific when you get into the body, into the middle of each of your body paragraphs. That's where you give your examples. Okay, let's look at the last idea. Perhaps the most important aspect of being a successful roommate is consideration. Hopefully, instead of your, I'm just going to say a roommate will be considerate, semi-judgmental, and thoughtful, because that's what consideration means. All of us are judgmental. We should not be overbearing, but instead should treat others as we want to be treated. It's good. You're going in the right direction, but you're just not moving to the more specific. So again, you need an example here to help illustrate this point, kind of like what I did in the other parts of your writing. So then you have, in conclusion, you want to say these 3 traits are necessities about this? For being a good roommate. Respect is important in each of these examples. Understanding the things that compose a comfortable environment will help you cope with your life. Will help roommates cope. Help them cope with life as young adults attending a college. Honesty, tolerance, and consideration. I would, instead of saying these three traits, it might be better to repeat them one more time, but you are restating the points here. Then you bring up the respect thing. I don't know if I would do that. It kind of brings it into a different direction, but okay, let's edit it one more time. Let me spell check it for a minute, and then I'll give you a score in just a minute. Okay. Okay, let's edit it one more time. And that's the actual question here. So in college, many young adults move from their homes to new environments. College provides a higher education that leads to a bachelor's degree at the undergraduate level. And I'm not going to capitalize this. Now, if I said a bachelor's degree in biology, then I might. So just use small caps. Students are assigned a room and are asked to select a roommate who, at most times, maybe if we set this apart by commas, is a complete stranger. If a roommate is not selected, one is assigned. After the roommates are decided, the two must then live together. Although living with a roommate can be a scary thought, having a roommate can help me learn honesty, tolerance, and consideration for others, all of which are important qualities of a roommate. So I made some small changes here, but overall, you have a good, strong introduction. You have some general statements that raise the topic, and you certainly move to a more narrow thesis at the end. To be a successful roommate, one characteristic that should be practiced is honesty. You might say this: often considered as a code of behavior. To be good partners, my roommate and I must be able to trust each other. In order to deal with the situation, both students must respect the other and be honest in their interactions. For example, if I go to school for the day to take classes in the English language program, I should be able to trust that my roommate will not use my belongings without my permission. Moreover, sometimes I leave my wallet in my bedroom, and I would never want to live with maybe a roommate who steals my money. I would certainly show maybe here, because this ties back to respect that you've already said, I would certainly show my respect toward him by being honest in all my interactions. Now the next one. To achieve an almost perfect partnership, tolerance is a necessary element in a roommate. Roommates must understand that they both have their similarities and differences. They must also recognize others' personal beliefs and behaviors. Both persons should be able to cooperate with one another. If I'm willing to bend a little bit and respect my roommate, then there should be few or no serious problems. For instance, I am Muslim, and in my religion we do not drink alcohol. However, my roommate might not be Muslim, and maybe he likes to drink a little beer now and then. In this case, I will show tolerance toward my roommate by not condemning him if and when he drinks alcohol, so long as he's not throwing beer drinking parties at all hours of the night, which would disrupt my sleep routine. In return, I would hope that my roommate would how about this, return my respect, return his respect by being tolerant when I pray in our apartment, which is yet another religious belief that I have. And then we have the last part. So, I made some changes with your writing. I made a few editing issues and so on. But like I said, I think you're going in the right direction here. So let's take a look at what we see here. I think you fit in the 3 range here. So, it says displays unity, progression, and coherence. It says though connection of ideas may be occasionally obscured, addresses a topic and task using somewhat developed explanations, exemplifications, and or details, may demonstrate inconsistent facility, sentence formation, and word choice. You have pretty good control of your thing, so because you didn't develop your ideas as much as I would like, I'm going to put you in the low 3 area. So I'm going to put you at a 3.0 out of 5 on this particular writing. Now what does that mean? Now you can compare, you can look at the video and see what kind of changes I made. So I'm going to put you a low 3, so 3.0 out of 5. That's going to put you here at 85%. You see what I'm saying? So what are my recommendations? I think that you actually have a pretty strong organization. I liked at the end of your essay how you used that idea. I thought was very clever is how you use this idea of respect. You did talk about respect in the different paragraphs. That made a lot of sense. As long as you also bring it up here, you kind of tied in respect with your other 3 points, which I thought was a good strategy, but you just didn't get quite deep enough with the examples that you used. And I gave you some examples of how you could use more examples in your writing to strengthen the argument that you're trying to make. All right, so thank you for completing this practice test.